Good morning, camera. Well, that's a lie. Good afternoon, camera. It's Friday. That makes it Film My Life Friday, the Friday in which I film my life. And, not to make a big deal of it, not to, like, shout it from the rooftops or whatever, but this is probably the last video, at least for like a couple months, that's gonna begin and end right here. Now, the reason for this, you may be aware, is mainly that on the 11th, I moved to college. And there's a video in between this one and the one that'll be filmed on the 11th. But, the day before that, I'm getting my wisdom teeth out. So, even though that Friday would have been the last gallery hop I would have gone to in Winston, I'm instead probably going to spend it asleep. Kind of high. Or very high. I don't really know how the pain meds they give you after getting your wisdom teeth out works. How they work. But I just went ahead and made plans for someone else to film that day, which is fine. But it means that any goodbyes I want to say to this room, and specifically to the art hanging around me, has to happen in this video, or soon, or something else. Because in the time I'm gone, the furniture is gonna stay pretty much where it is. I mean, it'll get moved and put back. But my parents plan on painting, which means that all the art I have hung on the walls in the last 18 years of my life is gonna get taken down, which I think is gonna be the weirdest thing when I come home for like fall break or Christmas or whatever. Which means I get to spend today, among other things, taking photos of all of it. Oh, by the way, I left myself like a chore list yesterday because I knew I was going to sleep in, but I didn't want to have a completely non-productive day, so I left myself like a list of tasks to accomplish. I hope that focused and you were able to read it so that I can be held accountable. But I'm gonna start in on those things, and I'm gonna start with item number 5, which is towards the bottom, which is get pictures of my walls. And I'm not gonna post those pictures, I don't think. They're more for me than anything else. But it's something to do. And then I'll get on with the rest of my day. Here we go. Cool. That was not emotionally draining at all. Tick. One less thing. What am I gonna do next? Next I'm gonna eat something, because even though I did not put it on the list, it's like 2 o'clock, and I have not done that. And, I'm gonna feel like shit. Like shit all day if I don't, get around to eating something. But I don't feel like actually making food, so I'm gonna eat cereal. Cereal is so good. Like, I know cereal is like $1 billion industry, but I just don't think we appreciate cereal enough. You know? How's the tent going?
Fine. It occurred to me I've got all that leftover carpet that we're going to throw away that I can pad. I can put the carpet between the deck and the tent so that any nails sticking up won't rip the tent.
True.
Smart.
Duncan!
What's that?
He's digging on the couch.
Oh. Oh, no.
Are you gonna keep digging, Duncan? Is that a yes? Okay. The reason that my father is currently in the process of setting up a tent on our deck is, as I stated, I got nice carpet in my... Maybe I didn't state it. I got new carpet. Me and my brother got new carpet in our rooms, which is why my room has a different layout than it did, although I don't know if I showed it if it had a different layout. Okay, all my furniture is, like, in a different place except for my bed, which I left where it was. And I have nice new carpeting. And the reason I got all those pictures of the art on my walls was because the next logical thing for my parents to do, though probably after I leave, is to paint my walls, because they have not been painted since I have lived in that room, and I have lived in that room my entire life, which is why that happened. But the reason that my room is in such disarray is because I had to take everything out of it while the carpet workers worked, except for, like, the single biggest pieces of furniture, and by single I mean all three: my desk, my bed, and my chiffon robe. And then I had to put it all back. The thing is, they're doing downstairs next, so all the shit we have sitting around downstairs, which is most of the shit we collectively own, has to be out of the way, and all of it's not going to fit in mine and my brother's rooms. So it's going outside, in a tent, on our deck, which my dad apparently had the idea to pad with the leftover carpet from my room and his and Christopher's, all the carpeted places that got ripped up, which is all of them. Glad I explained that. Gonna go back to eating my cereal now. Cereal consumed. I am the victor. Although the main victor I'm thinking of is Frankenstein, and he kind of died a horrible death after most of his family shared a same or worse fate. Anyway, I'm now going to move on to the actual first item on this list, which is edit the footage I generated, or something like that. I don't know what the exact title will be. Hopefully, by the time you, the viewers, are seeing this, that video has already gone up, and you've already seen it. Because otherwise, I failed to complete this task. I just have to pause and check my phone because I don't have an actual clock in the room. It's almost 3 o'clock, so that I've killed like an hour of the day and gotten 2 out of 6 tasks done. What are the ones that are left? We have finish common / required reading. I'll probably do that in the evening because I like reading at night. Go out at least for something trivial. I'm very direct with myself. Wow. Dye my hair, question, and do some boxes. Oh, I can do that. Because as I stated, much of my room is still sitting in boxes downstairs, and I need to go through them. All of this stuff needs to either go in the I'm taking it with me to college corner, go in a donation box, or go somewhere in this room. Those are the only 3 options. I stated them verbally. And if I go back on them, I'm a fucking liar. To myself, and to a digital object. And then later to, like, 10 whole people. Okay, let's see what we have here. What the hell is this? Okay. Oh, this is the box my Doc Martens came in. So this, I'm a mess. Guess these should come with me, shouldn't I? Well, this is easy. This is just my book bag, and it's full of all my clothing. This is the assigned reading I was talking about, by the way. Okay, cool. Next box. Tiger. Goes on bed. Wizard hat I made when I was in, like, 2nd or 3rd grade. Goes over here. Steel-toed boots go on the floor. Old beat-up dress shoes go in the Goodwill box. Cheeseburger hat coming with me to college. Hat I made out of plastic bags. bookshelf. These were my grandpa's. They go on the floor for now. Hat, 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 Pikachu hat, rain poncho. College. And that is all the boxes I can currently reach downstairs without moving major pieces of furniture. Okay, what's left? Common reading, go out, dye my hair. Do I feel like leaving home? That's a broad question, actually. Do I feel like leaving home right now? I'll text some people and get back to that one. This is me getting back to you on that. My dad called up to inform me he was going to the bank, and I volunteered to come along, because the list specifically said, go out even if it's something trivial. And accompanying my dad to the bank, I don't know if I'd call it, I mean, it's a trivial task, maybe, but good God. Is this what the end of summer before college does to you? It makes you wax philosophical? Ew. Also, it smells like tent. Banks are fun. And by fun, I mean they give you candy. Because that is definitely one definition of fun. Now let's go to the... Where are we going?
Hardware store.
Now let's go to the hardware store, because I need paint chips, among other things. The hardware store might actually be more fun than the bank, because, like, that lollipop lasted me a good 10 minutes, but, paint samples are forever. Big-ass time jump. I got home and did nothing. Well, that's not true. I watched the Gay and Wondrous Life of Caleb Gallo with my father, and then I sat in bed and watched YouTube, but I didn't do anything I filmed. It's currently 6:57, which, what am I doing now? I think I want to acquire food. It's like roughly dinner time. I tend to eat dinner late, but I've been trying to go to bed earlier, and I think eating earlier might help aid me in that process somewhat. Let's go see what there's to eat in my house. As you remember from last week, that's a crapshoot. Figured out a really great method for acquiring food in my house, which was going up to my dad and saying, hey, could you make dinner? I want to go to bed soon. And he was like, yeah, I probably should. And now my dad's making dinner. It's pretty great. Am I gonna... Yeah. I'm very tired, is the thing. And today was a quiet day, but I had stuff to do, and the only items left on the list of tasks are dye hair ? And finish common reading. And I don't feel like dyeing my hair, really. And common reading is gonna put me right to sleep, because reading in bed does that. And I'm really tired anyway, and all I want to do is eat dinner and go to bed. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm not gonna film it, and I'm gonna end the video here, and this is probably gonna be the last video I end here. You know, been here 18 years or thereabouts, and gotta say, this room has served me well. Thank you. That's all. I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.